Good morning. Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Don MacArthur here with Dylan Christie and Star Opinion columnist Chris Vander Doelen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. He's got his ward picks in today's paper, so we're going to break it down in two videos for you. This one we're going to focus on wards 1 through 5, and we're going to shoot another 6 through 10. So I guess first we asked Dan this yesterday, like, how did you do your research for this? Just a bunch of reading, a bunch of talking to candidates? How'd you...
Well, I think I'm doing what most citizens and voters are doing, is I'm paying attention to the videos, to their statements, to their releases. I'm looking at their websites. I'm listening to and reading up on what they're saying at press conferences. And in many cases, I've met a lot of these people, and I know what they're about.
Excellent. It seems like a lot of what you based your selections on, too, are if they're beholden to a special interest group or a political party.
Well, in my experience covering municipal politics for almost 40 years, when a councillor or mayor is beholden to one special interest group, that doesn't work well for taxpayers, because they seem to be owned by that group, whether it's the firefighters or the administration or a partisan political party. It just doesn't work well. I mean, sometimes you got to cross lines and make decisions that these groups don't like, and so that's why I've always found that, I mean, there's a good reason why partisan politics doesn't belong in municipal politics. It shouldn't be there. There shouldn't be party politics, But as Lloyd Brownjohn, our special guest columnist on Saturdays, pointed out a few weeks ago, there are shadow campaigns behind a lot of these people. And what he meant by that was that, the actual Liberal Party of Ontario is actively backing and promoting some of these people. The NDP party is backing some of these people, et cetera, et cetera. So.
No, for sure. All right, okay. Well, let's kick it off then. Ward 1, who's your choice?
Well, I think that Fred Francis could do a really good job, for the same reason his brother did. He's got the same kind of verve and charm and brains and energy, and he's been like a volcano of good ideas. Well, maybe I just should say ideas. I don't agree with all of his ideas. He's got some ideas about traffic calming, which I think that he pitched in a kind of a cynical way to get South Windsor people to vote for him. But I think it would be bad for South Windsor if they do all this traffic calming and slow down traffic. Sometimes traffic calming has the opposite effects. It drives drivers crazy and they get nuts, But he's proven that he thinks, and he's got a similar approach that his brother had, and his brother, of course, was very popular. So.
Excellent. Okay. All right, now Ward 2.
Well, I don't really know James Ging, but
Jimmy G. Yeah.
Neither do we. We've invited him on the show twice, and he hasn't come on. But
no, he's not running a good campaign. It's just that I don't like the rest of the candidates in that ward. I'm sorry. There's I don't like them. I think I know what's behind a lot of them, and I don't. If I were a voter, I wouldn't want to cast my vote for them. So I kind of would take a flyer, maybe.
So you're taking a flyer, plug in your nose, and going Jimmy G, and you say, "What's
roll the dice?"
Roll the dice. But the one thing about him, the guy runs a business, so he's there on time to open it up. He closes it down. He manages money. He's in this town. That's an accomplishment.
And some of the others seem to be deliberately anti-business, and I think that's the kiss of death for a council. So.
Excellent. And you said kind of reluctantly that you're going with Caroline Postma in Ward 3.
This was a shocker to me, Caroline Postma.
Yeah. I haven't always been a fan of what she's done over the years, and I think she was way too close to the CUPE and the firefighters when they were in labor disputes with the city, and she caused quite a little bit of turmoil on council. But again, when you look at who else is available, I mean, at least she's got experience. She knows the ropes. I'm hoping that she's matured a bit in terms of what's good for taxpayers and not being beholden to special interest groups. And we do need more women on council.
Sure we do.
I hate to say you should vote for somebody based on gender, but looking at the rest of the field in that ward, some of these wards don't all have great choices. So.
Right.
No, I guess you were sort of on Rose City Politics last night talking about some of these choices.
On CJAM, yes, CJAM Radio, yes, University of Windsor.
And then you ended up at sort of Reno's Ale House. Was that an awkward moment? Because he's, of course, running in Ward 3.
Yeah, well, Reno, I've been on that show before with Reno, and I know him a little bit, and he's a decent guy, nice guy. So yeah, he was kind of peeved with me that I didn't back him, but I
You like Caroline, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, one ward where there are a lot of viable choices is Ward 4.
Well, wait, let's back up a bit.
Oh, you're still on it?
I mean, Reno actually is running a much better campaign than Carolyn is.
Right.
I mean, she seems to be kind of phoning it in a bit and relying on her reputation. So it could well be that Reno gets the last laugh on me, and he could make a very good counselor. So I'm, these picks, this isn't science. No. I'm just trying to go on my gut feeling, like most voters do, and know what would be best for the city.
Well, sure, we're going to do it tomorrow. Dylan and I kind of go through it as well for what it's worth, and already I can see myself stepping in some potholes, like, you know what I mean? Because it's I like to, this guy's really nice, but for various reasons I might want, this person, and you just got to go with your gut.
Well, something I've always, with people over the years have often asked me, who should I vote for? Who should I vote for? And what you should do when you don't know is ask people whose opinion you respect. Maybe there's an uncle who knows more than anyone else in the family. Maybe there's an aunt who's really politically astute. Ask them. And don't necessarily do what they say, but weigh what they have to say, weigh what they have to think. Gather a bunch of opinions from your family and friends, and that should help you out.
Okay. Ward 4.
I think that Adriano Charlie is a small business guy, an entrepreneur. I was saying last night on CJAM, I think this guy's done more to promote the city than a lot of sitting councillors have with his WindsorEats.com. Yeah. He's a positive force on our tourism and on Windsor's self-image. And I like his entrepreneurialism and small business perspective, and I think he could be good for council. Nice young guy, lives in Walkerville.
Okay, yeah, I know he was on here before you, and you made his morning. He was happy to get that endorsement. And then, boom, Ward 5, Eddie Francis says every council needs an Ed Sleeman, and you seem to agree.
Yeah, people run down Sleeman pretty viciously, basically calling him dumb. Ed is a very bright guy. He's an engineer. He's also a pipe fitter, steam fitter, a union trainer for decades. He's kind of dumb like a fox. He lays flat. He doesn't react, but he weighs everything, and then he asks, just like I suggested earlier. He asks people he respects, well, what should we do on this? And you'll see that he often votes in a pack with the other councillors who are oriented towards small government, controlling spending and taxes. And I just think he's been good for taxpayers. He's a very hardworking guy. He puts in 1 million hours on things nobody notices, like the health unit and waste management. Really thankless tasks where he's done good work in the trenches. And there were streets there. Everybody's talking about sewers and flooding. There were a couple of streets in his ward that he went out of his way to get new sewers for them. Every councillor got some money that they could designate, and he put it towards a couple of streets and sewers. And I think those streets, like those people, are going to be very grateful to have Ed Sleeman. I think he should be returned.
Okay, well, there you have it. Those are Chris Vander Doelen's picks through wards 1 through 5. I'll be back in a bit with 6 through 10.